involuntary twerking.
Yeah, I love it.
Is that good tension on that side?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can go higher if you want, but I mean.
She's going to be bouncing off the table.
I know, good thing I didn't have the other shorts on. They would have been flying in there.
We have some way cooler basketball shorts. Tellana, she's got some cool stuff that we're going to be looking at today. So she's got some scoliosis in the thoracic spine and then a little bit in the neck. And you've had chiropractic kind of your whole life?
Yes.
And that has kind of kept everything at bay?
It has, but honestly, I've never felt as good leaving as I did leaving here.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like no one is able to get like as deep as you need or as like not big of a crack, you know, it's up to your body, but like, you know, I just felt like I could move after it. It felt great.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the whole testimonial, but we'll put it up on the website.
I think I watched a review too, so you know.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the towel adjustment that we did was kind of the craziest one that I felt. We kind of got that whole thoracic spine to decompress. So with scoliosis, it's oftentimes really hard to adjust that thoracic spine because we don't have that straight angle that we have on everybody else. So sometimes it takes a few visits for me to kind of figure out what's kind of the best adjustments that are going to work. So I am going to switch it up a little bit today. We'll definitely hit the towel one or the Y strap. I think we did really good with what we did last time, so we'll hit into that. Can we show off your scoliosis?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so go ahead and stand on up.
Okay.
And then if you want to come this angle, so what we're looking at with scoliosis, you can kind of square up to me. We're going to do kind of like a Jefferson curl where we tuck our chin and then slowly kind of roll down. So, and then this angle, if you want to look just straight on. So keep the knees straight and then kind of stay level with her. So we can see this right side of her is kind of, she's altering it a little bit to go into a rounded back real quick. Yeah, so that's where that rib humping happens. So she's got a little curve going that way, and that will cause the rib cage to come up. And then you can go ahead and come on up. The cervical spine is a little bit tougher to see. That's more like an imaging thing. So.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's like on my hip.
You doing okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Okay. Let's go into your stomach. We'll kind of warm up the spine. If you want to look to the right side, while you're on there, that's perfect. And then you hadn't had chiropractic for a little bit since I had seen you, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you typically, like 2 weeks, is that kind of the distance for you?
Yeah.
Or just as needed? And
when it gets bad every 2 weeks, and then I like to do maintenance like as needed.
Kind of keep you there. I'm sorry, my hands are like ice packs.
No, it's okay.
Just watch them. And then you do Olympic lifting, which that's like I feel like a pretty difficult sport for having curvatures like that, but it probably keeps you in a good spot as well. So like Olympic lifting is a very joint heavy. If you don't have full mobility in your shoulders, full mobility in your hips, then everything kind of compensates through the spine. So it's good because it forces you to hit that joint mobility that's needed for that.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's all about stacking the weight and kind of having that straight bar path.
Exactly.
So that's kind of a cool sport that you got to do that in.
Yeah, it took me probably 2 years of consistent stretching, chiropractic stuff to like even be able to do a squat, like to get all the way down. Even like to do an overhead squat, my body was a mess.
Okay.
I could not do it.
So do you have pretty intensive coaching? Because I know through CrossFit, like a lot of times it's a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, but, I get trained by the Olympians, Jenny Arthur and Nora Vardanian.
Oh, because you're down in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, and they have a gym down there.
Okay, cool. That's where all the Olympic people train.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, everyone's like leaving the OTC, I guess, like,
Really?
and going to, I think I saw it on the news, like on an article. It said they're going to like North Carolina.
Real quick, I'm going to show the video. So we got the right heel going to the butt, the left one. See how that shifts the pelvis a little bit more. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on that left side. But yeah, go ahead. So everybody's moving from the OTC.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
It's a win. So the OTC is the Olympic Training Center. So a lot of people come out to Colorado because we have a higher elevation. I'm just telling this for the viewers.
I figured.
So we get a lot of the Olympic athletes. They have the wrestling out there. What other sports do they have?
Wrestling, Olympic lifting,
So just training.
everything. I
elevation.
think, yeah, just yeah.
So training at elevation, you can get your cardio up, your breathing. I would imagine a lot of long distance sports, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Winter Olympic things. Alright, sorry. So I'm gonna do a little scraping onto this curve.
Okay.
And then I think last time we did your adjustments where you're on your back. I'm actually I think we might get a little bit more movement through. Let me just push him down here.
Okay.
And you're cool with the CBD stuff?
Yeah, perfect.
I'm gonna just slide this under here. Yeah, we did a long form. I think I'm gonna try to shoot to do like one long form video a week is what I used to do.
Oh, that's nice.
Where we actually go through like real treatment, not just like, we're gonna crack this person's neck as hard as I can.
Yeah, right.
So I feel like scoliosis is kind of a cool case. And then we're actually gonna look into some hip flexor stuff as well with some dry needling. And you said you've had a lot of dry needling in the past.
Yes.
You can get close so you can see. So this is just scraping, and we have a little bit of CBD for our emollient. Really get it in there. Yeah, I was stoked after your first visit with that release. Did you get any soreness after that?
I did. I was like super, super sore.
Yeah. Okay, we're actually gonna start into the T-spine. So if you want to look straight down, you can drop this arm down as well. You said you were really sore.
Yeah.
But feeling pretty good today.
Yeah. Oh, I'm feeling great.
Cool. Alright. Cool. So we're gonna get 2 spots. One right here. Go ahead, take a big breath in. Good. Let that all the way out. Good. Perfect. Doing okay?
Yep.
Okay, one more here. I'm gonna drop this piece down. Let all the air out again. Good. One more. And then let's go ahead and face me on your side over here.
Oops, sorry.
Okay, here we go.
Cut my arm off.
Come all the way onto your side.
All the way on my side. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And we're just gonna split it. And I'll pull this arm up there. Cool. T is getting all the angles. Cool. So we're gonna do that. Pull right here. And one more. Good.
Oof. Yeah.
Doing okay?
Yes.
Alright, let's go ahead and come on over to this side.
It's so funny. My name's hard to pronounce. Usually everyone calls me T.
Yeah.
So
Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I was
you're
like,
calling her
oh, no.
T, and I'm like, who is he talking about?
Oh, Tia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. So we got 2 T's in here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then let's go onto your back. When we did that towel adjustment last time, did you feel that go all the way into?
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
I felt it like in my toes.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was everywhere. Cool. Yeah, I think your neck was going crazy. So we've got our curve, and the T-spine to the right, and our curve on the neck is going to the left. Is that correct?
That's right.
Do you have your imaging?
I do, yes.
Cool. I'll probably grab that from you so we can throw up those curves on the screen.
Yeah, I forgot to
Lift up
email
into
it last time.
Oh, it's okay. So when you were younger, you said you went through pretty intensive chiropractic where you were having it done like 3 times a week and the Denny rolls and everything
Yeah.
else?
So that was, I guess not when I was younger, but like 5 years ago I started that.
Okay. Did they do bracing or anything like that?
I don't think so. What is that?
Where you're like in a brace long term.
Oh, no.
Okay. Usually they just
No.
do that with like adolescents when you're going through spinal maturity.
I'll be honest, my parents didn't care about me enough to do that when I was young, so no, I didn't have to.
It's tough because like it's really really expensive. Those braces are around like $4,000 to $6,000.
Oh, yeah.
And the problem is like parents will buy the braces, and the kids will wear them like onto the school bus, and then they'll just take them off once they get to school.
Oh yeah.
So now they've put like sensors in them to see if the kids are actually wearing them.
Right, because it'll save your life. You get one body, you know?
Yeah, but it's so tough with like social situations, like at school, like, you know, if you look different or you're, you know, wearing a brace.
Sure,
you
yeah.
know, that also is going to affect your brain, your mental, all of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's tough. They do make them a little bit less crazy. And it makes me think of like the Willy Wonka movie, where he, you know, has the crazy braces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're like a little bit nicer than that nowadays.
Yeah.
So you can hide them under sweatshirts and stuff like that. But it's really got to be this thing that you're wearing like 18 plus hours a day.
Yeah.
It's like a dedicated thing. And then the other aspect is as you're growing, that brace, you'll outgrow it. And so it's like, you just got to keep throwing in $6,000 every time you want to update that. But the chiropractic care that does a really good job with changing those curves is called chiropractic biophysics. It sounds like you did a little bit of that with like the traction pulleys and the rolls and the exercises, very intensive. The type of chiropractic that I do, you know, we're not necessarily going to change that curvature.
Yeah.
It's more like symptom relief, and somebody like you that's really active, we can help to kind of lock that in. The next time you have to be, you know, more concerned about it is once we hit like 55, 60 plus, we start seeing osteoporosis. So we lose our bone mass at about 1% per year. But if we do weight-bearing exercises like what you do, I know you're doing all the right things.
I'm trying so hard.
Then it decreases by 50%. So you just lose 0.1 or 0.5% per year. So that's when, if we do have curves, the osteoporosis can start to exacerbate all of those things. So we're going to start with a neck adjustment on this side. So we'll be really relaxed in the hands. That was it. And we're going to do one over here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So good. So I'm going to run through all the other joints and then we'll finish up with that. Yeah. Oh yeah, hairstylist things, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like the scoliosis symptoms affect you at work? Because I know that's a lot of one-sided stuff.
It did a lot, but working out and then also taking care of my body, stretching, doing chiropractic care, I feel like it really helps a lot.
There we go. Making it taller every day.
Wow.
Did we get that motion last time?
No.
Sometimes it takes a few.
Wow.
That's good though. We're dialing in. Oh, this is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
I kind of have a profession tattoo.
Oh, that's
caduceus.
super cool.
You gotta get mine now. Profession stuff. I think that's the only tattoo that actually has like some type of relation to my life or meaning.
Really, everything else is just...
It's just random, yeah.
Yeah.
That always like held me back from getting tattoos, is like putting meaning to things. So I'm like, well, I want to do my whole body, so how do I, you know, if you have that much meaning in your life, then then things become meaningless.
No, exactly. I have no meaning, that's why I get the tattoo. You know, like, obviously.
All right.
Oh God, I'm so nervous.
Nervous or excited?
Both.
Go ahead and lift the head up.
I'm ready for this.
It's gonna be so good. I'm actually really excited.
Good.
I could literally feel, and I was telling you earlier, I don't really feel that movement happen on everybody, but you could literally feel each joint kind
Oh
of
my God.
extend out and lengthen. So that first one, we're just kind of pulling you to tension. Good. Already felt some cracks there. So a little bit more. Perfect. Yeah.
I'm alive. Yeah, after that, I was like, oh, I want to go back and have him do it more.
Yeah, just come back every day this week. Yeah. Actually, you're good right there.
Okay.
I'm going to get into the hip flexor stuff. So Remind me what we were kind of working on with the hips.
So they're like super, super tight, and I don't have any,
So it's hip
that
flexion.
movement.
Okay, so that pinches a little bit. Okay. And I sent you that video with the 90-90 stuff.
Okay.
Did I?
I don't think
I
so.
might not have. Tia.
So, put that on Instagram.
Tia was gone that day.
That's right.
Okay, so you have really great internal rotation. Does that pinch though when I come up?
It does.
Okay. So I might get you into some shorts so we can hit more of that. So we're also limited with our external rotation. But our hip flexion is super important for Olympic lifting to get kind of that ass to grass squat. Let's see how we're looking on this side. So still pinching here.
Mm-hmm.
So once I get to this spot, like she can go further, but she's kind of resisting me.
Yeah.
Because she knows that it's gonna hurt. I've got the same stuff.
Do you?
Come into internal rotation and hip flexion kind of bothers it.
Yeah, a little bit.
So we call that
That's
femoral acetabular impingement syndrome, or just impingement syndrome.
Okay.
Can I get you to change into some shorts that we have here?
Sure, yeah, I don't care,
They're
whatever.
super cool basketball ones. We'll step out for a second to let you change. All right, so we got to change into these really awesome shorts. So I'm gonna keep it pretty basic with what we're doing. We're gonna hit both sides equally. Actually, could I get you to do a squat pre and post? That way we have some kind of like,
Sure.
objective measure, subjective measure kind of. So you just face the camera and do a squat and just kind of pay attention to yourself.
Okay,
We won't judge you. Actually,
I don't want to do this, I can't. Why am I so nervous? Hold on.
So I like to just, we can do it together. So just kind of bringing the arms out and just seeing how that pinch feels. So see how your legs are super out?
I have
So that's
to,
because you have to, because you don't have that range through there. So that probably feels more comfortable. So go ahead and just go straight for this example.
Okay.
And just get to that point to where you feel that pinch. Where do you feel that?
Right there.
Okay, cool.
That's
so we'll kind of
pretty
keep
fun.
that feet in the same alignment so that when we do it again afterwards, we can see if this is going to be helpful.
Cool.
That wasn't so bad.
Yes, I surprised you, didn't I? Because you see how bad it is, and so like my movement, so you wouldn't expect it. But I'm telling you, I worked so fucking hard to be able to move my body. Like before, I couldn't even touch my toes. Like everything was cracking and popping. It still does, but less. It feels better when it does.
And it's really easy to kind of get in that mindset of like, oh, I can't do this because I have scoliosis or I have A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm.
I fall into that habit a lot. I've had 2 hip surgeries, and I'm like, oh, I can't do this because that's my hip surgeries. But in reality, if I work, I can still gain another 10, 15 degrees that will allow me to do other stuff. So I'm gonna bring the shorts up to here, kind of on both sides.
Yeah, sure.
So we're gonna actually just hit really basic quad set. We're gonna hit what's called rectus femoris, and that is one of our quadricep muscles that kind of brings our hip into a forward positioning, and it'll actually kind of create that grinding. So I'm gonna do just 2 needles on both sides.
Cool.
So this is just some alcohol. You got all the barber ink tattoos, kind of.
This is fucking awful. Oh my god.
I was gonna
It's
say,
like
I like it.
my first, it was my second tattoo, and it was one of my dad's friends. My dad was like, yeah, he'll come to the house, he can tattoo. I didn't think anything of it, and it's so fucking bad. He did a Jesus tattoo on my sister's arm, and he looks just like some Mexican guy in like a dress. It's so fucking funny.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's got character though, and it's got a story behind it.
No, exactly. Laser hurts too much. I'm doing it on my ribs right now, and I'm like, I don't want to do it anywhere else. It hurts. So.
Oh my gosh, you had laser done?
Yeah, I'm lasering all this off right now. Yeah, it's
Restart.
brutal.
Okay, and you're cool with needles, no problems with it.
Yeah,
so with
not
the
at
quad
all.
muscles, we might get a little bit of a twitch. So, sorry, these are just my fingers. So we're gonna about 2 inches down from the ASIS. So we're gonna hit right into this spot. How we doing?
Great.
One more on that leg, and then we're gonna hit the same set. So I'm just putting 2 needles here so we can create an equal circuit. So This one's a little bit random.
Woo! Fuck.
I think we got that on video.
Yeah, that was spicy.
Good little twitch. So we're gonna come up here on this side. It's fun actually making videos where somebody has things that we can work into versus me just doing random adjustments.
Yeah. They're so fun to watch.
They are. And now we have Tia is editing all of our stuff now.
Oh, sweet.
So we can get content out faster. Cool. All right, got past the fun part. And you had needling with stem. Sorry, our camera person just falls over.
The camera guy always survives. Yeah, like this, where it's like.
Yeah, it'll kind of twitch out the muscles.
I love this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, good. And you got the whole caboodle today. The whole kitchen sink at you.
I'll take it.
Cool. So we're gonna start with the right leg first. I'm gonna slowly start to increase that. Doesn't need to be crazy. Just want you to feel something there. There we go.
Ooh, there it is.
Is that
No,
a good
feels
spot?
great, yeah.
Okay. We can kind of see the inconsistency that it had at first, so that should start to kind of even out. Doing okay there?
I'm feeling great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do the same thing on the left side. So yeah, see how it's kind of like stopping and going. So that should clear out after about 2-3 minutes. That kind of also shows us a little dysfunction there. So
Okay.
I'll kind of explain the muscles that I have it in just a second. There we go. Involuntary twerking.
Yeah, I love it.
Is that good tension on that side?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can go higher if you want, but I mean.
Just gonna be bouncing off the table.
I know, good thing I didn't have the other shorts on. They would have been flying in there.
We have some way cooler basketball shorts. So this is something that I struggle with too. So I actually have the same hips as you, less mobility. So I've had 2 hip surgeries when I was 20, and that was to kind of clean off the labrum and shave off some of the head of the femur.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't really successful for me. I've learned going through school that surgery is not really a super effective surgery, and they typically go straight to just hip replacements.
Yeah.
But I went through school and I have tried so many things. PT obviously is like the biggest thing that we can do for it, is building out that hip internal rotation, working the hip flexion so that we're comfortable at that end range. So I kind of like put passive care out as like an option for me until I took this dry needling course, and they were like, hey, for any of your patients who have FAI or femoral osteoid impingement, which basically means so if we're looking at the ball and socket joint for the hip, we've got this joint. Yours is basically really tight into that hip capsule. So when you go into hip flexions or bringing your leg up, you're getting kind of this bone on bone pinch. And so what happens is we'll kind of get this like forward like centration of the joint. So it's not really centered, and so you're kind of grinding there. The muscles that I have it in is called your rectus femoris. So it'll attach from here and into the femur. And so when that gets really tight, it'll jam that up further. Okay. And so what we're doing, we've got the needles in there. We're hoping that kind of lengthens so that the joint can sit in a more neutral position. So when you go into hip flexion, you don't get that pinch. That's kind of how it works with my hand model.
Perfect, makes sense.
Do you feel like that's kind of evening out?
I feel like
more?
it is, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit so we get a faster frequency. Cool. Sometimes that's more comfortable for me.
Oh, yeah.
We can hit different portions of the muscle each time to kind of experiment on, what area is going to be most effective. I like to just start with one muscle group and kind of do pre and post checks. So for me, I was the example in the class. I was like, pick me to try it, because I kind of doubted it. I was like, there's no way that like just hitting this one muscle can affect all of that stuff. And it was kind of a night and day. I did the squat pre and post, and I felt good. Sorry, I thought the microphone was off for a second. It happens.
You're like the whole time? Tia, are you kidding?
I've had so many like great videos that I just forgot the microphone off.
Oh, hurts so bad.
It's like all the education and focus. It's like
Right.
nobody gets to hear it. They can see it.
Right, they just can't hear it.
We'll just put music to the background of it for the ASMR.
Exactly.
Cool. So that seems to be pretty consistent. So I'm gonna pull these guys off. I'm gonna do a little bit of scraping there, and then we'll recheck that hip flexion and get you out of here. So did you ever train at the OTC?
No, I didn't.
Do you have to have like special access to get in there?
No, I don't think so. My ex, who had like introduced me into weightlifting, he trained there, but then they didn't have enough funding to keep weight training there, so
Gotcha.
they had to close that part down.
Sadness.
It is. It's so sad.
Oh, let's use the Dorsa advertising. I need to open up a new one of these.
That's one you can like eat too, right?
No, that's
that's
this
not-
one. So I made this one so you can't eat it. I mean, you can, but it won't taste very good. We put peppermint in there so that you get kind of that icy hot effect.
Because once you get high off it, doesn't matter. Like what it tastes like.
Well, so this one's just CBD, so you
Gotcha.
wouldn't get that psychoactive effect. The other one, I'm not going to put it on the screen because I don't know how YouTube feels about.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not even going to say that word, but very political platform, so
Very much.
I'm not going to get into it. I'm just doing a generalized scraping, kind of move that stuff around since we just popped some needles in there, created some micro trauma. But yeah, we created this CBD so that it doesn't have any of the other stuff that I can't say. Because we do have a lot of CDL drivers, police officers, and things like that. People get drug tested, and that way
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I think we're gonna get our Shopify set up so that we can actually have the purchase link on the YouTube video. Same thing with these guys. They should be available. They're sitting in a warehouse in China somewhere right now.
Oh gosh. So they'll be here soon, maybe.
Yeah, we'll have them on
That's exciting.
Amazon and Shopify, all that stuff. Yeah, it's coming together. So.
And are these going to be for your clients or for other professionals?
For both.
For both,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a thing that like it used to be inaccessible because they were so expensive. So like the ones we'd get in school or like as a professional would be like $250. And it's like in reality it's a nice piece of metal, but it shouldn't cost that much money. And so
Yeah.
I'm trying to close that gap of making it accessible for both practitioners, but also it's not like it's crazy technique that like, you know, if you just rub onto the skin, it's just a pressure stimulus. And so it will kind of, yeah, it's for everybody.
Nice, I love that.
It's kind of hard to do on my back, but.
Yeah, right?
Well, let's go ahead
Okay.
and stand on up and see that squat. I'll do them with you so we won't feel singled out, so you can judge my squat too. So we
Okay.
kind of had the feet a little bit closer. I'm just looking for that pinch at that end range so you can get a little bit deeper.
Wow,
into it.
okay, I'm getting no pinch, but like obviously I still can't get lower because my ankles.
And then go ahead and go into your wider squat that was easy.
This
So now you
bullshit, yeah.
That's good. No, I would actually,
Yeah.
listen to what your hips have if you need external rotation to get into that deep squat,
Okay.
because otherwise you're going to create a grinding, and that's when you end up getting surgery like me. So.
Yeah, so you had surgery on your hip labrum? Or?
Yeah, so they pulled most of the labrum out that was torn,
Yeah.
and they shaved off the ball part of the
Okay.
bone socket.
That happened to one of my friends, and then the doctor, or the surgeon, he was like, this is like indestructible, you will never have to have this again.
Yeah.
And then it tore again.
Oh, jeez.
And so, yeah. What?
Yeah, the technology's gotten a lot better, so as soon as I can take off like some time from work, that's going to be my next step. But we'll let you get change out of that stuff, but
Into the other shorts?
That was a good
I'm
session.
just taking them.